welcome to another episode of Blown Turbos. Doing something a bit different today as well.
So another special.
Another special, yeah. We're talking about motorsport safety because, as some of you may know, we did go to the Snowman Rally, which is the first event in the Scottish Rally Championship 2013. And
unfortunately, on the first stage.
Yeah, unfortunately, on the first stage there was an accident involving
a fatal accident involving one of the cars and a spectator, in which the spectator sadly died. So
yeah, because we were going to do a video about
the rally.
What happened at the rally, but the rally got cancelled after the first stage, so there's nothing to tell.
It's a real shame though, for the accident in general.
Yeah, it is definitely. So yeah, we thought, because of that, we'd talk a bit about motorsport safety. That it's something that worries me quite a bit.
Not for the driver though, when you're...
Not for the driver. It's relatively easy to protect the driver and the co-driver. I mean, they're all wearing helmets, they're all wearing fireproofs, they've got roll cages in the cars.
Well, there's that video of from Pikes Peak where a guy in an Evo just went, flying off the edge sort of thing.
Yeah,
drops about
straight off the cliff, and he was pretty much fine afterwards.
They both got out, and I think just the co-pilot had a broken arm. But this is for spectator safety, as I mentioned.
Yeah, because I mean, on a closed circuit, it's easy to protect spectators.
You're all a wee bit from the track. You've got fences and that.
There's fences and barriers in the way, and I mean they can tell spectators to stand in a certain area where it's a bit safer. But I mean, on a open road like a rally,
it's a lot harder.
There's no real control over spectators.
There are marshals at certain points, which a lot of folk do go there, and it's good for safety. But
the thing is that there's not really enough marshals to cover the whole distance of the stage.
But it's also like when we go there, I personally don't like going next to a whole heap of folk. So like when we've gone as well, was Stephen that. We've always gone, a bit up the stage sort of thing.
We'll walk up the stage
and
before
find a place.
starts.
Find a place where there's not many other folk, but we always take safety into account, sort of thing. We don't, you often see idiots standing right next to the path, sort of thing, and then you're like,
I mean that annoyed me at the Colin McRae stages last year. There was a guy who was standing in front of us, and he was basically at the same level as the road, and it's coming into quite a tight bend, and I noticed that when he was standing there compared to when he wasn't, the cars were all slowing down more, and I'm pretty sure it was because he was standing there. Because I mean, obviously the drivers want spectators to come out and watch the event, but they want them to be safe, obviously. So they're not going to risk someone's life just to
get a good time.
Just to get a good time, because what's the point in that?
It's also the cars kick up a lot of stones. Now, the years I've been going for some time now. You do learn quickly where's a good place and where's not to. I like to go in bits where there's corners and that, so you get the car drifting about, or just after a crest sort of thing, or a jump, so you get getting a bit of air. But you learn quickly where and where not to go, because
I remember when I first went to the Colin McRae stages in 2011.
Yeah,
that was the first one we all went together.
Everyone.
And I was standing somewhere, and you and Steve both said, you're really standing too close.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever, and hadn't seen a car go past yet. And then first, they got me to move, fair enough. First car goes past, and I'm glad I wasn't standing there, because I would have been really too close to where the cars were going past. I wasn't on the road, but I was definitely too close.
Well, it's also the stones that get kicked up and that, a lot of them are little pebbles, but this is one of the rallies you weren't at, and this is where Steve's got his phobia of staying away from David Bogie.
Oh, David Bogie, yeah.
Because we're walking down the stage, and we're like, a car's coming, and he's like, that's it. I was like, aye. Oh no, it's not. Carried on. But we've just seen David Bogie, who is I'm not sure how many times he's won the
I
Scottish.
think it's 5 times
Something
in a
like
row,
he's
4
also
times in a row.
he's also current British champion as well.
Yeah.
But he drives. He's a real pro sort of thing, which I would say he's better than Ken Block. Put it that way. And
Oh, definitely.
Steve, he's just there, and then we go, and it was a dry day, so lots of dust was getting kicked about. He came round, and then Steve just goes, "Ah, my leg!" And then a stone about that size got thrown at his leg. We just laughed it off, sort of thing, but we're thinking, gee, that could have, if that was higher, he could have been
in the
KO'd.
wrong place. Yeah, that's a
I would have left him to Steve, but nah, I'm kidding there. I do take safety seriously with the rallies. There's been a few times actually when I've, told folk to move, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
because I mean, they do say stand above the level of the road.
The way the stages are, they're in the forests in the UK. There's a few that aren't, but generally they're in the forests, and the roads are sort of banked and that. So it's about you're often about a person's height above the track. Well, I say track road sort of thing.
Because then the idea is that if a car goes off, it's got to try and climb up the bank to get to you. Yeah. So it's going to hit the bank first.
But naturally, of course, if you see a car heading towards you, even if you are above it, you will.
You move out the way. Yeah, that's a natural reaction.
I've had one near miss. One could have been a near miss, is where I was at a rally and I was at the end, middle of a corner sort of thing, and the car. The cars were going along, cutting the inside of the corner, so it became sort of banked on the inside. It's at the bottom of a hill. So an Impreza, which we've kind of gotten to know the owners a little bit of. This was after we found out this, but they came down the hill, clipped the inside, flipped the car on its side, and it came sliding towards me. And I was, same level as the road, but I was sitting down at the time.
Yeah.
And I quickly jumped as fast as I could, but it was only really 2 trees that stopped it getting to me, sort of thing, which I feel sorry for my dad, who was at the start of the corner, and all he would have seen was a car sliding towards me. But thankfully, I was quick enough getting out of the way. The car wasn't going too fast and that, but that was a easier impact I've seen. The drivers of that car were fine, and the car was fine in that impact, because it still gets used today. But another impact I saw was involving a Lancia Evo, and it was me, my dad, and some random guy. Were at it was like a junction, but the cars were coming up towards us, and if it kept on, we were in front of it, and they were to go round the corner. But this car went straight on, not reading the pace notes, I'm guessing, or guessed too late, and then was heading towards. We moved back, sort of thing, and then it realised, turned sharply, and then got into sort of drift, and then clipped the curb, sort of thing. Well, I say curb, it was like embankment, and then went into a roll, and then eventually flipped and landed on its roof. Which, luckily no one else was there, but in events like that, you've got to, since we weren't near marshals, we ourselves had to deal with the situation, having someone at the start of the corner waving cars down, and us trying to get the driver and co-driver out. Thankfully they were fine. The car's roof wasn't, but the car did start again. That's the thing that kind of worries me about accidents with spectators in rallying is the only real way to protect the spectators on a rally stage is to close the stage and not have any spectators, which is not what we want at all. No, and there are a few closed stages already on the championship for each of the rallies, but that's more because there are no points for spectators, I've been told from one of the drivers.
There's no way to stand, or there's no car park, or there's no easy way to get onto the stage. But if spectator accidents do keep happening, then it does come to my mind that in the future rallies might just be run behind closed doors, and you won't be able to see what's actually going on on the stage.
Isn't really not good.
I mean, Britain's got a big tradition of motorsport.
Yeah, we've got lots of national rallies, hill climbs, sprints. stuff like that. And it's a shame to see it go because of safety, but thankfully on the whole everyone takes safety first, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whether it be the drivers, the spectators, and the marshals, who they do a good job of it, considering they're all volunteers as well at these events.
Yeah, that's one thing we should say is the marshals are all volunteers.
Aye, so if you're at an event and they tell you to move, don't just go. They're doing it for your safety, and they're at a rally and that, which they'll enjoy, but it's their own time as well.
Yeah, I mean they're doing it because they're big motorsport enthusiasts.
They want to make sure.
They're probably bigger motorsport enthusiasts than you are, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's why they want to help out, because they don't want to see something like a rally getting cancelled because no one wants to help.
Yeah. So I got distracted. They've always got something in there. I got distracted. But that's just another one of our sort of special videos we're doing.
So what I would want to say is, if you are going to something like a rally, like where to stand, I've said before, you want to stand like above the level of the road.
Yeah,
that's a big thing.
If you go on our Facebook page, you'll probably get a rough idea, because our sort of unofficial third member of the team is a photographer.
Yeah.
And he'll be putting his pictures up on that. But you'll get a rough idea how most of the photos, if it's taken at sort of road level, the person, you can tell they've zoomed in sort of thing for the photo.
Yeah.
And you want to stand far back sort of thing if you're at road level. But also take into account, if you're standing somewhere and stones are getting thrown at you, and it's a lot of them, don't stand there.
Yeah.
Also, it's probably safer to stand on the inside of a corner than the outside.
Definitely.
Because, you can go off in a corner.
Yeah, if the car's going to lose grip and go off, it's going to the outside.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, yeah, you're definitely better off standing on the outside. I mean, obviously there's places where it is safe enough to stand on the outside. But you need to be further away from the road than you normally would be.
Also, make sure you've got quick access. Don't stand somewhere and then realise, I've got nowhere to run to.
Yeah.
Just go left. Actually, no, go straight on. Don't stand somewhere and then realise, where do I run when a car's coming towards you? I mean, genuinely, if that does happen, because cars do go off in the rallies, we've seen it a few times, sort of thing, and thankfully, it's just a case of they've gone off into an embankment and they're fine.
Yeah.
But make sure you can get away, sort of thing, and if you're not the quickest of people, take that into account as well. But generally, if a car is hurling towards you, your first reaction is to get out of the way. Yeah,
that is a natural reaction, but you've got to think about kind of an escape route.
Yeah, but also if you're there with kids as well, don't go somewhere silly either.
Yeah. You've got to keep your kids under control in that sort of environment.
Same as if you take dogs on, which I believe they say not to, but folk still do.
I mean, we did see one dog at the Snowman Rally this time, but they're just sitting there and they were on a lead and everything like that. So if they were about to bolt for the road, they'd be under control.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd like to take a dog there.
No, the noise would be, it's like the noise is allowed. So.
Yeah.
But another thing to consider is if you're walking down, at the start of a stage, if you walk into a space, always keep listening, because we sometimes keep moving down the stage when the cars are going, because there's often a minute or two gap between each car.
Yeah.
But always, walk a bit. If you hear a car coming, stand near the edge of the road, look about, then go. That's what we always do. It can be sometimes we're doing that. You think you hear a car and it's just the wind through the trees, but
I'd rather think I hear a car and dive into the bushes out of the way and then realise it's not, than be the other way around, like, that's not a car, and then get run over by an evil weight.
Also, if you're going to walk past a bit and there's no easy bits to sort of get out of the way to, wait for the next car to go past, then run across, like little bridges, for example.
Yeah,
main ones. Another thing you could do, I suppose, is wear sort of brighter clothes. You could just go around wearing all black and that, but you'll get seen, sort of. But you know, something a bit brighter might help, sort of thing. I'm not saying go full high vis jackets and all that, but
I mean, you can do that, but you don't need to.
yeah. I mean, my recent one is my new outdoor jacket, as I like to call it, is the MG BTCC team one, which is blue, yellow, black, red, and all that. Which you know, so it's really good. You do look a bit of a, what's the word I should use?
Yeah, we know what you mean. Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, so you know, get the idea. Also, I'm trying to think of more safety tips you could use.
Well, the biggest thing that everyone needs to remember: motorsport is dangerous.
Yeah, that's just a general rule.
It's part of the reason why people do it. It's part of the reason why it's so exciting, but there's a risk involved.
Yeah, so take into account stuff may happen. And that concludes another of our specials for Blown Turbos.
And we'll try and find another car to review.
Yeah, we should have a new car soon. Someone is retiring their car soon, sadly. And
I wonder who it might be.
And someone might end up with, they're not even sure what. Our next car could be something from, let's say, the greatest car ever built, and I mean that, or it could be a Daihatsu. So there's a hint if you can figure out which one, or any of them. But yeah, if you haven't done already, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
Although we don't say much on Twitter at the moment.
Yeah, Facebook we're more predominant on, but you know, follow us. We might maybe move over, do a bit of both, whatever. But yeah, and also click wherever it is we're highlighting right now for, like, you know, the links, and subscribe wherever that is now. You know, everyone used to always point at the box to the side. Shows how
it's underneath.
Is it now? Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, anyway.
Subscribe, like, favourite, share, comment. Do it now.